G'day legends, welcome back to another episode, Young Nomad style. Well, this one has almost been 2 weeks in the waiting. I do apologise, we've had a tremendous amount of stuff going on in our life and our world. I promised this episode about nearly 2 weeks ago, and after 3 failed attempts, here we are. So for those that have been following our journey, Young Nomads, we literally packed up our lives and our homes just over a week and a bit ago. Right now we are stationed at the front of my old man's Foss's home, and on this episode what we're going to do is I'm finally going to take you behind the scenes to show you the final install of the single wheel carrier that we've put on Sherman, our Landcruiser, to accommodate the treads, as you can see on the back here. So I'm going to talk to you about the product, why we went down this path, the overall experience as well, and then we're going to show you a little bit behind the scenes, just the 1% of stuff that we've been working on to get our lives and our caravan as comfortable as possible before we hit the road full time and travel Australia and work around Australia full time. If you haven't already, thanks to all you legends for all your support. I've been loving all the comments and getting back to all of you, but if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button, punch that bell so you get all the notifications of all the cool content that we're sharing with you guys on these Australia adventures. And yeah, we love to hear from you. So if you've got any comments or questions about this episode, make sure you put them below because I'll absolutely get back to you. So what's happened in the last 2 weeks? Well, Mel, she's behind holding the camera, my wife. And firstly, absolute trooper. She packed up our whole house while I still had to work, run a business and everything in between. So the last 4 to 6 weeks has been hectic to say the least. We've packed up a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2 living area, 260 square metre home, 600 square metre block, and everything is into storage. So in between packing up our homes, cleaning it, getting it ready, and then obviously coming to Dad's. Now the reason we've come to Dad's for a little bit is just to ease our way into the transition of being on the road full time and living out of the caravan full time. We're 1 week down so far, aren't we, love? We got here Friday week ago. We're still on grid, connected to power obviously, but at least it's giving us a bit of a feel and vibe of what it's like to be in the caravan full time. We got to Dad's within a few days. Mel unfortunately was struck down with the dreaded C word, COVID. So then Demi and I had to isolate ourselves from just getting set up in the caravan to living inside Dad's unit. Dad's got a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit, 1 lounge room, perfect for himself as a bachelor, but for 3 of us, a child as well, not ideal. So Demi and I were parked up on the couch in his lounge room for about a week. I was still running business, doing work appointments, meetings, commitments and all that good stuff. Demi was an absolute trooper. You know, she still did her homeschooling. So yeah, it's been an interesting week, but we're on the tail end. Let's get to the exciting stuff. What's going to be coming up for you viewers in the coming weeks? So Mel and I sat down the other day and did a bit of an itinerary. Now on this trip, we're not actually going to be sitting down all the time and working out the next destination, where we want to be the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're kind of going to keep it really ad hoc and maybe plan a destination or 2 in advance, I think at most. Love, you might have a different opinion, but I think we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants and go with the flow. If we stay somewhere 2 nights, great. If we decide to stay there 4 nights, no problems. So in the coming episodes, Saturday week, well, today's Sunday, so from next Saturday we'll be headed to Port Gibbon. We're going to stay there probably for 3 or 4 nights, I think, and see what that's like depending on weather. Then from there we're going to head over to Elliston Caravan Park, which we've stayed before. Absolutely love Elliston, epic caravan park. So much to see and do in such a remote little place, but very picturesque, very scenic, good fishing as well. And then from there we're headed over to Fowler's Bay. Is that right, love? Fowler's Bay. And then from there to Eucla, the border, and then into WA. So that's kind of a little bit of a map of what you can expect in the coming episodes. But on this episode, as I said, we're going to show you the single wheel carrier, some stuff we've upgraded to the van, but yeah, what a week it's been. It actually worked out all right because unfortunately we had a loss in our family last week. My auntie, beloved Auntie Karen, she passed, so it gives us an opportunity. We'll be here for her funeral services next week, and we've got a friend's wedding as well. And the mixed netball team, Phoenix Netball Club, who I've been playing for since October last year, and I've been sponsoring and endorsing, and very proud to be involved with that club. We made it into the grand final, so I'm going to be playing mixed grand final netball next Thursday. So we'll tick those 3 things off. Then we're on the road as of next Saturday, full time. All right, let's get down to the single wheel carrier. So this single wheel carrier is an entry level carrier. I could have gone a real expensive Kmart rear bar, twin wheel carrier or jerry can, single wheel carrier with twin jerry holders, but I opted just to go a very basic setup. The main reason I went this was for just a few reasons. Convenience. These treads, we've got 4 mounted to the back here. I had nowhere that I could carry these. As you can see, guys, and you probably know from the future episode we did on Timmy the Tinny, we got the tinny up on the roof rack. I've got no capacity to store treads up on that roof. Even though there's a bit of room back there, there's simply not enough room to mount these treads. I didn't want them loose in the cab. I didn't want them loose in the caravan because it defeats the purpose. If we unhitch and these are in the caravan, they're not with us. And we're more likely to get off road swagging and more likely to get bogged when we're just in the car without the caravan. So I wanted them on the car full time. So the main reason was simply to carry these treads. The other reason obviously is we can get that rear wheel out from underneath now to here, which gives us extra capacity underneath. So I could put in a Brown's long range tank, I'm thinking maybe, or maybe even some onboard air possibly, but we'll work that out down the track as we go. The single wheel carrier itself was purchased through a retailer here in Adelaide, but it's known as, the wholesaler's Outback Accessories. The bar itself, $1,500, okay? So it's pretty cost effective, entry level buying. The retail experience trying to buy it here in South Australia was challenging. It took me about 4 attempts to actually try and purchase it and get it. I tried to do with Outback Accessories direct. You can't. You got to deal with a local retailer in your state. The retailer I was trying to deal with was challenging. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the best of experience. Now, I'm not going to name them, I'm not here to slander them, but it was really difficult to get this in time. It took me nearly 6 weeks of trying to persevere to try and actually purchase it and eventually get it. But as you can see, it's all installed, it's on here. It's a swing away. Now, the thing I will point is it's on a gas strut, okay? But most wheel carriers generally have a weld or a bar that stops it from swinging right around. I actually broke one of these original gas struts that came with it already, because there's nothing actually apart from the gas strut with this make that stops it. I don't know if that's a fault or not. Yeah, there should be something that stops it, because that gas strut can break quite easily if I'm not holding it. So what me and the old boy are going to do is we're going to put in some just a little bit of chain just to stop it so it doesn't fully flex on the gas strut and break it again. I had to sort of makeshift the stone stomper blanket a little bit just to get the lock through as well so we can latch on. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with it. It's basic, it gave us what we needed it to do, and the learning was these treads didn't actually fit into the 4-pin max tracks. So we had to customize this to get these treads to actually mount. Now, the bar on the back here, if you just want to swing around here, love, this is from a company known as Kaon, Kaon.com.au. They do a lot of four-wheel drive, unique type accessories. As you can see, it just mounts into the spare wheel carrier. And with that, it gives you the ability to have the 4 pins. So just up here. So nylon nuts, 4 max tracks pins, which obviously lock the treads or your max tracks into place and position. And then obviously you can put a lock through the actual locking pin itself. That Kaon bar was $200 delivered door to door, I think from memory, or $220. No, yeah, it was $200 delivered door to door, and then you got to pay for the pins, which I think they were about $50. So I think all up she was about $250, $260 delivered door to door. Really happy with the Kaon product. It's simple, it's effective. It gave us the 4 treads securely and lockable onto that rear wheel, which works quite well for us. So, so that's the rear wheel bar. If you've got any questions, drop it down below. Let's jump inside and maybe talk about the wife's little upgrade with what she wanted on the internal kitchen that we finally got to. And it's absolutely cooking here in South Australia today, so sorry if I'm sweating on screen here. It's already, what is it, 10:30 in the morning, and it's already hot. All right, so here's the new splashback that the wife wanted. So for the viewers that have maybe seen previous episodes, this was like a pretty dark grey. The wife wanted like a
before and after photos.
Yeah, we'll put in a before and after photo down below or somewhere in here so you can see the difference. But yeah, we got this skinned and wrapped through my signboard installation company, Smart Posts. Thanks Steve and Matt, the guys in the team down there, who have done a lot of work for me over the years. But yeah, I think it's come up tremendously well. The wife's happy. It's definitely lightened up this whole space. It makes it look more brighter, vibrant, and more open and spacious. I've just got to do a few little finishing touches here. We'll just do some silicone beads in the corners there just to flush it a little bit nicer. But overall, really, really happy with it. Behind here, so I'll just point out, what we did was we took out the old Sat King TV and we mounted, I had a 32-inch monitor. I used to use this for work, which is a you know, high resolution 4K monitor. It's a curved monitor as well, and it's bigger than the Sat King TV. So we thought, actually my dad came up with the idea, he's like, why don't you mount that in the caravan? I was like, brilliant idea. The reason, it's obviously bigger than the Sat King TV we had. Secondly, because it's curved, it fits in the corner, which we'll show you in a moment, a lot neater and nicer tucked away. The resolution's quite high as well. But as always, when you upgrade, you run into problems. So when we plugged it in, we're like, there's no sound. Why is there no sound? Obviously, it's a monitor for gaming, computer, doesn't come with any sound. So we've had to get a little bit creative to set up so we could have this on the road, because with the Sat King now disconnected out of here, we're going to use that externally on the table outside to watch TV out there. So what we've had to do here, I'll grab the camera, love, it might be easier for me. All right, looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast, to be honest with you. So this is our Sat King satellite receiver, obviously, as well, that comes in from the Sat dish here. We've got our Nighthawk 5G modem round to there. But here we've bought a J-Car Bluetooth transmitter receiver. So what that does, it will transmit any signal that we've got running out of the monitor into any Bluetooth speaker. So we've just got a little Bluetooth boombox there that we're syncing into at the moment, but we're going to upgrade to a nice JBL bar. Or we can run it into the sound of the speakers within the caravan and Bluetooth it into the head deck, so we can have surround sound there. What we've also done in the back here, I've wired it up, so at the moment we've got essentially the Google Chrome running into the HDMI, so we're just watching YouTube, Netflix to suit. And then obviously if I want to change it over from the YouTube, Netflix, Google Chrome to the satellite, we just swap over that HDMI. So that's a little upgrade that we've made in here, and I'll just pass over the camera and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's tucked away. So if you want to jump in there, love, you generally get better camera images than what I do. So you can have a look at just with that curvature of the screen, it just fits in that little hole really well. This is my side of the bed, so with the curve it just enables me to walk through here a lot easier. And as you can see, the size of it is epic, and it will just enable me when I'm working on my laptop here editing away. I'm going to have dual screen, so I'll have my laptop here and then I'll HDMI into that monitor. That monitor will swing around here, so while I'm editing I've got the screen of my laptop and then I'll have the 32-inch there. So super cool, super impressed with that. The image we were watching YouTube last night on 4K, the quality's awesome, isn't it, babe? Happy days with it. Was there anything else that we've done in here so far? It feels like we've done a lot more. That's probably the main things, isn't it, at this stage? So, all right, let's jump around the back. I'll just show you what we've done to the rear. Here's our fan favourites, Max and Charlie. These are their dog beds that we've got set up. So these are the Wanderers that I mentioned on the previous episode, so you can just see them all set up. They've got one each, the king and queens of the household. So what we've had to do here is this boat trailer slides in and out, so I had a few difficulties getting in and out by myself just because the steel was quite pressured together, so it was creating a bit of friction trying to lift it in and out. So me and the old boy have just given that a little bit of a shave to smooth it up. What I've also done is I've changed the diesel heater fuel point around, because before I couldn't get my ratchet gun in here with that fuel point on the other side, so that's given me direct access to put my ratchet gun in there. yeah, so we've just made that change. What we're going to be doing today, I've got the steel cable on the boat trailer winch here, so I'm going to be changing that over to be belt drive, to be belt instead of steel cable, just because I don't like steel. A, it's heavier, and B, you get steel splinters a lot easier. We've added the Jansen's UHF 56 channel, so if you're on the road and you see us, make sure tune into UH56, we'll be on channel. We've updated the sullage hose. We went a larger 38mm pipe from the 32mm pipe, just to give us more flow when we are on grid into sullage points. But that's pretty much it for the caravan so far. We mounted the antenna point here for the satellite dish. So that's directly off our bedroom, so that's where the satellite dish will go into the receiver. And then these 2 points is the in points of where our wideband 4G receiver will eventually go. We'll do a full episode on that when it is set up, so you can see it in full flight. That's obviously the mast mount, where the mast goes up to the 4G wideband receiver antenna, and it is line of sight. So that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your patience. We wanted to get this episode out over nearly 2 weeks ago, but like I said, with everything going on in our lives and world, there's a lot worse going on in the world with what we've gone through, but we're looking forward and we're ready to hit the road. We're less than a week out now. Stay tuned, there's going to be some really cool episodes coming up. Port Gibbon looks epic from some episodes we were watching online yesterday, right on the waterfront. I know the wife's eagerly awaiting to get on the water as much as possible, but yeah, we've got a few little finishing touches today. I've got to go get a 100 amp hour lithium battery for the tinny. See, small things like this. I had a 100 amp hour AGM battery for the tinny. And for the sounder, obviously when you're towing it locally on your boat trailer, no problems. But when we're in the van, you know, an AGM battery can be anywhere up to about 20 kilos or 17 to 20 kilos more. So today we're going to have to make the investment, go get a lithium battery, save ourselves that extra 17 kilos in weight than the AGM battery, because again, that's on the ball weight, because the battery's stored in the front box just behind you there as well. So we're going to load up next Saturday. We'll get ourselves weighed up eventually as well. But that's it for this episode. Just short, sharp and shiny. Few little accessories, few little upgrades. Again, any questions, any feedback, any comments, drop them below. We'll always get back to you. But until the next episode, have a fabulous family Sunday. See you, legends.